chords, so yeah, okay. Let's start.
Inside.
Inside.
Oh
Yeah.
God,
Indoors.
Inside his
Indoors.
house.
Indoors.
I am literally about to explode.
Who's right cringe over the moon? I just gonna write cringe over the word.
It's indoors.
What? Let's see. No, it's not. It's a four-letter word.
In.
Four.
No. Yeah, I know that. Shut.
Inside.
No,
No.
inside.
Inside six letters.
No. What is that?
What do you do inside a house?
You stay there.
Live.
You stay.
Yeah.
That's correct. Let's see, number 5. Maybe that's a good number.
Announce?
We went over this.
We know this. I know this.
Actually, it's an adjective.
Yeah, loud. Very loud.
Yep.
It's an adverb, bruh.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yawn. Or someone like they put down a cigarette and
Okay, no annotating.
okay, you should lock it.
Yeah, I'm locking it.
Oh
Oh shoot, I don't know. I'm a boomer with these things.
I know that, but I won't stop.
How do I say this? But I don't know how to.
Okay, you stopped it.
Okay.
Successful.
Okay, what do you think this is? Because this is really hard.
Oh, it's smelly stench.
No, it's a sound that someone makes.
Burp.
No, it's a sound that someone makes when they are like really frustrated.
They groan.
I forgot to.
They groan.
Yep. Number 2.
Okay, that's it.
It's easy.
Create.
Create.
It's easy, create. We've do this before.
Yeah, let's go. This thing.
A block.
Yeah.
We won't be able to do all of it, so
Puppy.
I just
what do you
get on
think
with
this
it. 8 minutes
Puppy?
left. What is that? It's a block. Nah, it's a village. Oops.
Okay.
11. Surprised.
Surprise face.
Surprise.
Oh, cactus head. Cactus head.
Oops.
Yeah. Good friend.
Friends. Relationship.
Friendship. What the hell?
Oh, what the
Okay, we're done.
black man head.
Yay. So happy. Yay.
Okay.
Now
What we
I
will-
will become an anti-fan of this game.
Because there's actually a lot more words than just what you played, but I only chose 16 words for fun.
But like what?
I'll show you guys all the answers if you want to see.
Yeah. Like if you get bamboozled plus it won't be so boring, but because of financial problems and my bank went corrupt, so I couldn't buy it.
Yeah, I just blew like 400 on Zoom Plus. So yeah, I can't really buy stuff.
Yeah. You can buy something.
Anyways, so today I will introduce you to a website that you probably are already familiar with, but I still want you to want to
Book
annoy you with
planning.
it.
Epic.
Book planning.
No, it's Padlet.
Oh, I know that.
Padlet. Oh, I already know that.
Yeah.
What's
It's-
Podet?
We
Oh.
just write. Wait. Like in
Padlet.
the last.
Okay.
Padlet.
So
Padlet with the logo of a paper crane that drives people crazy with boringness.
okay. This is what we call a quote journal. I'll call this a quote journal, which is basically what it is supposed to be. So,
Why is it a private Padlet?
wait, it's a private Padlet? Okay, one second. Sorry about that.
Wait. Oh, okay.
What can you
Request access. I will request
don't
access.
request. Oh shoot.
I requested. I request.
Shoot.
Take me home. Take me home, please.
And
Visitor
Happy
permission.
birthday
to you.
Writer. Okay.
I know. Link privacy.
Happy
Public,
birthday
bruh.
to you.
Okay,
Happy
can everyone
birthday.
access it?
No, take
can
me
you
home,
give
please.
the link?
I requested. Request
Happy
confirm.
birthday to no one.
Hey, yo, request. Take me home, please.
No.
Now.
There you go.
I
Cringe
remember
face.
this palette is for the last time.
Oh no, cringe me.
Yeah,
Yay. Do you use the palette like from the last class?
I use it as an example for the new class.
Yeah.
Oh my
quote
god, I
journal.
still remember my novels.
Number 2.
The biggest novel.
Anyhow, so for example, this is where you keep your
Posting.
quotes, the quotes that you like, the quotes that you feel are like symbolic to you in some way. First
Yeah.
of the quote is going to be on the task name. I want the quote to be on the subject part, and then the this part is going to be what you think is interesting about the quote, and then this is your name. Okay?
Wait,
Okay.
can you write names on the top? I remember you did do that at
No, like this is the quote,
the journal.
Yeah.
and then this is something.
So
Yeah.
what are we gonna write? What are you gonna do?
This is name.
Yeah.
I still want to.
We're gonna write the codes, but
I
not
still
some,
want to write the
but
stories.
not something Sigma like vote for you, like vote for Donald Trump to get more money.
No, the quotes from the book.
Yeah, we know that.
I still.
He is mimicking a mem king.
Okay, can you guys see the this thing?
Yeah, we know. We see it.
Yeah.
The book? Can you guys
Yeah,
see
I
that?
see that.
Okay. Because
What is that steak?
Well, I didn't read it now.
okay, so as you read, today we will read chapters 1 and 2. So I
Now,
want
can you
you guys.
send the link?
Yes, I have sent the link. Check the chat.
Oh, a new link. Let's see.
What is the quote journal?
So the quote journal is the thing that you will be
Wait,
tasked
I
with
did see the link
keeping.
now.
Don't interrupt me when I talked, okay? Okay, so I want you guys to write the quote as you read, you record the quotes from the text that you like and from the things that you feel are very symbolic to when you are reading it. For example, the quote for example, there is this quote that I really like. It is, Frankenstein, you belong then to my enemy. To him towards I have sworn eternal revenge. You shall be my first victim. Of chapter 16, page 205. The thing is, you can see, so the thing I like about it is the fact that the monster, the thing that Frankenstein has created, learns that everyone is disgusted by him, so he swears on revenge on basically everyone, including Frankenstein.
Victor Frankenstein died.
Yes. So, I want okay, so because you guys have quite the you guys have a really good vocabulary, so I won't bore you guys with the vocabulary of this thing because sometimes it is quite boring. But if you
Yeah.
guys don't see anything, if you guys see anything that you guys cannot understand, it's in there.
Yeah. So obviously you're trying to avoid cringe.
Yes. Although I just made a whole class cringe, don't worry.
Okay.
Suitable.
With that with that
Suitable.
patent, no. Bamboozle.
We're going to do chapters 1, 2, and 3 today.
Can you send a link of the book or the chapter 1, 2, and 3 only?
I will unfortunately have to read chapter by chapter and then I will send it to you because otherwise you will read the entire lot of it and I do
Then you
not
can
trust
just
it.
send chapter 1 and 2.
No, because I need you guys to follow along.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, anyways, I'll start with 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I want someone to read four, the first 4 pages of chapter 1. Let's see. Anyone? Helen, can you read the first 4 pages of chapter 1?
Yes,
Okay.
I was born and raised in Geneva, where my father was a distinguished citizen. He was respected by all who knew him for his integrity and unfailing attention to public business. He was so busy with his duty that he did not become a husband and father until late in life. As the circumstances of his marriage illustrate his character, I cannot refrain from relating them. One of his closest friends was a merchant who fell through numerous unfortunate events into poverty. This man, whose name was Beaufort, was of a proud and unbending disposition. He could not bear to live in poverty and opulence in the same country where he had formerly been distinguished for his rank and magnificence. He retreated, therefore, with his daughter to Lucerne. Then there he lived unknown and in wretchedness. My father loved Beaufort. He was deeply saddened by his friend's situation. He went to seek him out, in hope of persuading him to begin the war against his resistance. 10 months passed before my father discovered where he lived. He found his old friend sunk in his grief, lying in bed, incapable of any activity. Beaufort's daughter attended him with great tenderness, but she saw that their funds were rapidly decreasing. They had no other prospect of support, but Caroline Beaufort was brave, and her courage rose to support them in their adversity. She took manual jobs and managed to earn enough to keep the two of them alive. Unfortunately, her father grew worse. In a matter of months he died in his daughter's arms. Caroline was left an orphan. My father came to the poor girl like a guardian angel. He determined to take care of her. He brought her to Geneva and placed her under the protection of a relative. 2 years after this event, Caroline became his wife. There was a considerable difference between the age of my parents, but this circumstance seemed only to unite them. My father was very attached to my mother. He tried to shelter her, as a fair exotic is sheltered by the gardener from the rougher winds. He sought to surround her with all that could excite pleasurable emotion in her soft as benevolent mind. Her health, and even the tranquillities of her spirit, had been shaken by what she had gone through. During the 2 years before their marriage, my father had gradually given up all of his public functions. Immediately after their marriage, the two of them sought the pleasant climate of Italy. My father hoped that the climate there would restore my mother's health. From Italy, they visited Germany and France. I, their eldest child, was born in Naples, and as an infant accompanied them in their travels. They were affectionate parents to me. My mother's tender kindness, of my father's smile of benevolent pleasure, while rewarding me, are my first recollection. For a long time I was their only care. However, this changed when I was 5 years old. My parents were passing a week on the shores of Lake Como. Their benevolent disposition often made them enter the cottage of the poor. This, to my mother, was more than a duty. It was a necessity, a passion. She She remembered what she had suffered, and how she had been relieved. She wanted to assist others who were struggling in life. One day my mother and I visited the cottage of a peasant and his wife. These poor people were bent down by care and labor. They could scarcely feed their 5 hungry babies. Uh, among these Among these there was one which attracted my mother far above all the rest. She appeared of a different stock. The 4 others were dark-eyed, hardy little vagrants. This child was thin and very fair. Her hair was the brightest wool. Her blue eyes were cloudless. She seemed a being heaven-sent, with a celestial stamp on her features. The peasant's woman, seeing my mother looking with wonder and admiration on this lovely girl, eagerly communicated her history. She was not her own child. She was the daughter of a nobleman from Milan. Her mother was a German, and she had died giving birth. The infant had been pleased with the good people to nurse. She had bloomed in their rude dwelling, better than a garden rose among dark brambles.
Wait
But
one
I think
second.
some of the people is reading like a different language in the chat.
I think
so
it
you can
is like
solve it.
Thailand, or I don't remember.
That's
No, it's not
that's
Thailand.
Russian.
It's Russian. Okay, so why are we doing Russian now?
Can you please solve the chat thingy?
Can
Yeah,
I read
I'm
chapter
trying.
2?
Because I can't understand a thing.
Yeah,
Literally.
yeah. It's none of your business.
Yeah, this wait.
This is an English class. So
Yeah, we know. I'm still paying attention.
Guys, I gotta go to California.
Bye.
now
Never come back.
Ivan.
Bye, Ivan too.
But don't. But actually, if I
Okay. Now someone's joining in.
Okay, Helen, can you finish this page, because it's already chapter of the end of chapter 1. Helen? Okay, whatever, I'll just read it. When my father returned from his trip, he found me playing in the hall of our country home with this child. My mother got his permission and convinced the girl's guardian to let the girl come and live with us. They were fond of the sweet orphan. Her presence has seemed a blessing to them, but they could scarcely feed their other children. They consulted their village priest, and the result was that Elizabeth Lavenza joined our family. She became my sister, my more than sister. She became the beautiful and adored companion of all my occupations and pleasures. Everyone loved Elizabeth. I not only loved her, but also looked up to her. On the evening previous to her being brought to my home, my mother said playfully, "I have a present for you, Victor. Tomorrow you shall have it." On the next day, she presented Elizabeth to me as a promised gift. I, with childish seriousness, interpreted her word literally and looked upon Elizabeth as mine to protect, love, and cherish. We call each other cousin, but she was my beloved sister. Anyways, I want you guys to think, sorry about this. Everyone, please do add in meaningful quotes and not weird stuff
goofy
in the
ass
quote
stories.
journal.
Can I ask what code are we writing now? Like now?
Yeah, we're not writing.
Oh my god.
They're not goofy ass stories.
Yes.
Well,
Also,
I think you guys should focus on the lesson.
Yeah, please. 30 to 34. Okay. So, oh, sorry.
I think we'll have above like 76 replies of my joke.
Yes, because you guys are not focusing in class. Anyhow, how do I upload a file without this just not exploding? Um, okay, this is chapter 1. I just sent it in the chat.
What? Chapter 1, what do you understand? Chapter 1 and 2?
We need to save it in our computer.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
save it.
because whatever. Anyways,
This ebook.
I want you
it's a
guys.
PDF slide, so you will need to do it.
Okay, so one thing, oh God, where's this? One thing though, I want you guys to think
Oh
of
man, 82 KBs?
82 KB is small.
Yeah.
82 KB is too much.
It's
What?
not that
20
much.
KB.
What did you
Yes,
say?
it's not that much.
Gigabyte must be more than that. GB is more gigabyte.
I don't understand. No one's talking.
Okay, so I want
Are
to
you in
see.
6th grade? If you are in 6th grade, you'll know this.
Yeah, anyways, I want you guys to think, okay, can everyone all open the chapter 1?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how do you see Victor? How does Victor Frankenstein describe his father?
I do not understand.
Okay, so from chapter 1, how does Victor Frankenstein describe his father? Okay, I'll let you guys have about 5 minutes for
His
you to
father was
just.
whose name?
I will want you guys to have 5 minutes to process everything and skim this chapter because it's
I
quite.
don't know how to say it.
You just click on it and then there's like a download button.
I know the download button.
And also you can just click on it and it would just like open for you, I think.
Yeah. There it is.
Anyhow, I will give you guys 5 minutes for you guys to skim through. Yes, Ken?
No.
Okay.
False alarm.
Okay, I'll give you guys 5 minutes. Make the most of what you will.
Oh, all right.
Now what? What now?
I've given you 5 minutes for you to skim the passage, and I want you guys to be able to answer the questions I am following below. It's hi. In 2 minutes. Okay, guys, have you read the chapter 1 on your own again?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I want you guys to be able to see this, of course. Okay, so you can see that how does Victor describe his father? How do you think the Victor describes his father? You can take this from the book itself, of course. How does Victor describe his father?
He has a high public service.
Uh, okay, that is acceptable. Yes, Lily?
I think the author described his father as as man.
Yes, his father is a man.
Yeah, that and
Okay. So if you guys can't, can anyone help out Lily here? Helen?
So I think that Victor described his father such as a distinguished and respected citizens of the Geneva. Also, like he was a loyal and compassionate friend. He also kind and like protective. Like he act like a guardian angel to Caroline.
Yep, that is correct. So, from that, okay. You can see here that Frankenstein said that he was born and raised in Geneva. What modern day country would Victor be if he said he is birthed by a Genevan Genevese, which is someone from Geneva? Okay, so basically, if Frankenstein was born in Geneva, and so if Frankenstein was born in Geneva, what modern country, what nationality would he have in the modern day? Ken?
I would say it was a little bit unstable.
Okay, 1 second. So you can see that Frankenstein said he was born and raised in Geneva.
Yeah,
So if it was in the modern day, then what nationality would Frankenstein be?
it would be French.
No,
He wouldn't be French, does he?
no, he wouldn't be French.
Wait. If he's raised in Geneva, right?
Yes,
Yeah, let me think.
Geneva.
Yeah, it's in Europe.
Where is Geneva?
Ah, I know that. Mm.
Is it in Europe? But where is it?
Yeah, it's in
Oh,
Europe.
it's in Swiss. I
It's
remember
the
that.
country is not
Switzerland.
Swiss.
Switzerland and people is called Swiss.
Yes, he would be Swiss. He would be a Swiss citizen. Anyways, next question. How does the author introduce Caroline? What does her description suggest about women and their place in society?
Question is how the author described Caroline.
Yes. I'll call on Ivan. Ivan?
You should call him by his nickname.
Ivan. Is he not here right now or? Okay, how about you, Mary? Mary,
Wait, what did you ask?
I ask, how does the author describe Caroline?
Let me see. Caroline was brave and her courage rose. So her courage rose to support them in their adversity.
And her courage supported them in their adversity. But this is not how this is not the point here. Helen.
So I think that he described Caroline as she was brave and resources. Then he said that Caroline Beaufort was brave and her encouraged Rose to support them in their adversity, and also like having suffered greatly when she endured poverty, her father's decline, and his eventual death in her arms, leaving her an orphan.
Okay, so for those, okay, how about Ken?
Okay, so he described that she she was very poor and she had to take menial jobs. Like it earns very little money to keep her family alive. So to keep her alive, so we can tell that at the time of this story, at the time of Victor telling this story, women were not really high rated in the society, and they come from a very low walk of life.
Yes. So, one more thing that you might not have noticed is that how the author described so much of how the of how Frankenstein's father, Victor Frankenstein's father, has vowed to protect Caroline. There is an entire paragraph of this.
Yes, I must have missed that.
Yes, there's an entire paragraph of this. And this suggests the fact that women were seen as weak. They were seen as very they were seen
Low.
as lowly. They were seen as something that is fragile, of course. So, these kinds of assumptions about women, they are of course going to be indoctrinated by into almost everyone's mind at the time, including the author Shelley herself. So that is the reason why you see that Caroline um is often really described as a soft-spoken, fragile person instead of someone that is more strong compared to the theme of to compared to the to the female characters we see in modern literature today.
Yeah, that's obvious, isn't it?
Okay. What are I want to see what is the comparison that had been what is the comparison made in the metaphor of the last sentence of page 27, and how does the metaphor impact the meaning? Does anyone know? Okay, so the last sentence of page 27 is she here referring to Elizabeth is had bloomed in their rude dwelling, fairer than a garden rose among dark-leaved brambles.
That means she's beautiful.
This means she is compared as a rose in a sort in some places that are shabby. Basically, compared to this comparison hits home more because this is akin to saying that that lotuses grow in swamps. So basically, they are saying that she is someone who came up from a family that doesn't have good looks, in parentheses, of course, in their genes, but she grew up as something that is fair, meaning beautiful, in the dark leaf branches, which is how the rest of the family looks. One more thing. You can see that according to this chapter, when the first here, in this chapter, the stranger Victor Frankenstein said he was born in Naples and grew up in Geneva. His father, Alphonse, you'll know later, and his mother, Caroline, became close to Alphonse's friend and Caroline's father. Beaufort, when Alphonse's friend and Caroline's father, Beaufort, died. And then Alfonso became Caroline's protector and eventually married her. So you can see from this that Victor's childhood, most of his childhood, is very picture perfect. It is innocent and very picture perfect. It is the epitome of what you call the three-person domestic family. It's just three families with without any sort of drama, to be honest. And you can see that from how the author described it, it is very picture perfect and there's really nothing wrong inside of it. However, you can see that as of course, when these kinds of innocence are presented, there is a very likely chance that there's a very likely chance that these innocents will be lost due to some kind of uh incident later on. One more thing. Okay, so we'll go with chapter 2. So chapter 2 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, chapter 2 has 8
pages.
8 pages. So I will read.
You didn't plan chapter 2.
Yes, when chapter 2 is read aloud, I will send it. Okay. Does someone volunteer to read chapter 2 first?
Me.
Okay. First 4 pages, okay?
Okay. Chapter 2. Elizabeth and I were brought up together. There was not quite a year difference in our ages. We lived in perfect harmony and grew closer over time. Elizabeth was of a calmer and more concentrated disposition that was capable of a more intense application and was more interested in learning, while she contemplated in the magnificent appearances of things. I delighted in investigating their causes. The world was to me a secret that I desired to puzzle out. I was curious. I wanted to understand the hidden laws of nature. When I was 7, my parents had another child. They gave up their wandering life and settled in their native country. We had a house in Geneva and a country place on the eastern shore of the lake. We resided for the most part in the latter, a considerable solution. As a boy, I preferred to avoid a crowd. I was indifferent to my school fellows in general, but I did befriend one of them. His name was Henry Clerval. He was the son of unusual talent and imagination. He loved enterprise.
I sorry, but you forgot the son of a merchant in Geneva.
Okay. He was the son of a merchant in Geneva. He was a boy of unusual talent and imagination. He loved enterprise, hardship, and even danger. He was deeply read in books of chivalry and romance. He composed heroic songs and wrote tales of enchantment and knightly adventure. He recruited us to act in plays and entered into his performances. The characters in these dramas were drawn from the heroes of Rosenval's The Round Table of King Arthur and the Crusades. No human could have passed a happier childhood than myself. My parents were kind and indulgent. We loved them, and they loved us. When I mingled with other families, I sensed how fortunate my lot was and felt grateful towards my parents. My temper was sometimes violent and my passions vehement, but by some law of my nature, they were turned not they were turned not towards childish pursuits, but to an eager desire to learn. I was not particularly interested in learning languages or government and political affairs. It was science that fascinated me. I desired to learn the secrets of heaven and earth, the outward substance of things, and the inner spirit of nature. My friend Henry occupied himself with the moral relations of things. His dream was to become one of those whose names are recorded in stories as the brave and adventurous benefactors of our species. The saintly soul of Elizabeth shone like a shrine dedicated lamp in our peaceful home. Her smile, her soft voice, the sweet glance of her celestial eyes were ever there to bless and inspire us. But I might have become depressed in my study, but I did not, for Elizabeth was there to subdue me with her own gentleness. And Henry, could anything depress the noble spirit of Henry Clerval? Continue.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh wait,
I
it's already 4, right?
yeah, I
No?
think so.
No,
Two.
the 1,
One more
2,
page.
3. Yeah, one more page.
I take I take pleasure in dwelling on the recollections of childhood. It was a time of happiness, before misfortune has poisoned my mind and changed its bright visions of usefulness into gloomy and narrow reflections upon self. As I have mentioned, science and natural philosophy were my great
Yes, ma'am.
loves. When I was 13, we took a trip to the natural hot springs near Ceylon. A patch of bad weather forced us to spend a day in the inn. There, I found a volume of the works of Cornelius Agrippa. I opened the book without much interest, but gradually grew more enthusiastic. Agrippa seemed to understand many things. A new light seemed to dawn upon my mind. Bounded with joy, I communicated my discovery to my father. My father glanced at the title page of my book and said, Cornelius Agrippa, my dear Victor, do not waste your time upon this. It is trash. Looking back on that day, I do wish my father had given a different answer. If he had taken a few minutes to explain that the notions of Agrippa
had been entirely disproved by modern science, I would have thrown that book aside. It is even possible that the train of my ideas would never have received the fatal push that eventually led to my ruin, but the quick glance my father had taken of my volume led me to think that he was not very well acquainted with its contents, and I continued to read with the greatest enthusiasm. When I returned home with my first care was to obtain all the works of Cornelius Agrippa on my occult philosophy. Later, I acquired volumes by Paracelsus, and Albertus Magnus as well. I read and studied the wild fancies of these writers with delight. They appeared to me to they appeared to me treasures known to few besides myself. Here were books and men who knew more than I did. I believed everything they told me, and I became a disciple. It may appear strange that these philosophers of the occult should find an avid reader in the 18th century, but I can account for it. While I followed the routine of education in the schools of Geneva, I was, to a great degree, self-taught. My father was not scientific, and I was left to struggle with a child's blindness, added to a thirst for knowledge. Under the guidance of Agrippa and Paracelsus, I entered with the greatest diligence into the search of the philosopher's stone and the elixir of life. The latter, however, soon attracted my undivided attention. Wealth seemed to me an inferior object. I thought only of the glory that would attend the discovery if I could banish disease from the human body, and render a man invulnerable to anything but a violent death. Thus, for a time, I was occupied by disproved ideas, mingling a thousand contradictory theories and floundering desperately in a swamp of disconnected knowledge. I was guided by an ardent imagination and childish reasoning till an accident again changed the current of my ideas. When I was 15, I witnessed a violent and terrible thunderstorm. It advanced from behind the mountains, and the thunder burst with delightful loudness from the heavens. I watched as the I watched the storms progress with curiosity and delight. As I stood at the door, all of a sudden I beheld a stream of fire shooting out of an old oak tree that stood about 20 yards from our house. As soon as the dazzling lights vanished, the oak had disappeared. Nothing remained but a blasted stump. When we visited it the next morning, we found the tree had shattered in an unusual manner. It had not been splintered by the shock, it had been entirely reduced to thin ribbons of wood. I had never seen anything so completely destroyed. On this occasion, a man who had some knowledge of electricity was staying with us. He was excited by this catastrophe, and he began to tell us about the science of electricity. This was new and astonishing to me. I quickly forgot about Cornelius Agrippa, Albertus Magnus, and Paracelsus. I began to study electricity and also mathematics. It is strange how our lives unfold. Tiny strings may lead us to success or ruin. When I look back, it may seem to me this almost miraculous change of inclination was the immediate suggestion of the guardian angel of my life. It seems that this was the last effort made by that spirit of preservation to avoid the storm that was ready to envelop me. This kindly force was guiding me away from my occult studies. It was a strong effort of the good, but it didn't work. Destiny was too powerful, and her immutable laws had decreed my complete and terrible destruction. Okay, so what I will do is that I will send you guys this. Uh, Wait 1 second. 30.
Can I read chapter 2?
Yes, Lily?
Can I read chapter 2? Can I read chapter 2?
Oh, chapter 2 is already read.
Yeah.
I will give you guys 5 minutes for you guys to really just read again read the read the again, and I will have some questions for you guys. At the end of chapter 3, you guys will have a writing prompt, and I want you guys to work on that. If you're done, then you and if you are and that will be carried on as your homework as well.
All right.
And read, and then I can understand. I can do my homework. Okay, that'll be better.
Okay, guys, are you guys done with reading again the chapter 2?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, I got maybe half the hang of it.
Okay. Because this is quite easy actually. Uh
So now do you have to write a journal?
Okay, I
yes.
finished it.
Okay,
I
so
still haven't had a hang of the journal.
Yeah, I finished it.
okay,
I got
so
like half the hang of it.
I want to see how you guys do here. Okay, first is of from this chapter you can see that Victor describes his perfect childhood. He and Elizabeth got along perfectly, although she favored poetry while he wanted to unravel the physical secrets of life, including the hidden laws of nature. So this is a very early hint at Victor's dangerous ambition and his innocent belief that people are powerful and wise enough to comprehend something such as nature.
Listen, it's false. Absolutely false.
In addition to Elizabeth, Victor also shares a close friendship with Henry Clerval, his well-read schoolmate. Like Victor, Clerval possesses a soaring ambition to leave his mark on humanity. You can see that, like Victor, Henry is also too young and innocent to realize the futile, just how impossible and how really, I would say foolish his ambitions were because he was so young he doesn't really understand it. As he grows up, of course, Victor becomes very fascinated with natural philosophy and reads among among Al Cornelius Agrippa, Paracelsus, um, something Magnus, I believe, Albertus Magnus. These are all very, very well-known occult philosophers. If you don't
Now
know
I
what,
want to write a quote journal.
can you
Wow.
please not interrupt me while I'm talking? This is something that I've talked to you about even in the last class. Okay, so people like Cornelius Agrippa, Magnus, and Paracelsus are all very much are all very enthusiastic occult philosophy. Uh, If you don't know what occult is, the occult is a category of supernatural beliefs and practices that which generally fall outside the scope of religion and science, making it uh it is something that is uh okay. So could be some sort so occult is so with occult with occults it could be about witchcraft, it could be about astrology. Basically, people who claim that they have say and claim that they have some sort of powers, divine powers given to someone, and they want to expand on that power. That is called a cult. Now back to the quote journal. This quote journal you can add at any time you want. The thing is, it's just I've already had the template on here. You just add your quote. The part of the date is your name, and then the part of something here is just the thing that it feels, just something that feels, just the what you feel about that quote. Okay? anyways, we have gone. This is overtime of the class, so this is already 4:30. We have not done. I will want. You guys should save chapter 1 and chapter 2, and I will the quote today. The I want you guys to be able to answer these questions. I have taken some questions to test you guys, but um I want you guys to complete this. Okay, 1 second. This is the writing. This is the prompt for your writing, and I want you guys to finish this by Monday, and I would have a and I will have a doc for you guys to send your a doc for you guys to send your homework in.
Wait, is this the homework?
Yes.
So we have to write. You just need to send this here, or you finish it and then you
Wait, what is the code about? Like, I mean, what will we write about the
chapter 1
code?
and 2.
Yeah, it's in the what? Yeah, the we will write about the I have already set the topic in the chat. I will also send it in the Zalo group. Okay. Anyhow, goodbye everyone. This is at the end of the class.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions? I can Does anyone have any questions? If not, then you can leave the class. All right, goodbye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.